Next speaker will deliver today's keynote address. Prince Kelley Jordan, not the Prince of Jordan, but Prince Kelley Jordan is a native San Franciscan, a trailblazing Navy veteran and visionary who shattered glass ceilings and redefined leadership, igniting change across the Bay Area in a groundbreaking feat. He made history in the city and county of San Francisco as the youngest African-American male veteran ever appointed to the Veterans Affairs Commission, a position he received from the Board of Supervisors in February 2024. This milestone appointment brought bold, innovative energy to vital issues such as veterans housing, healthcare, and job opportunities. Appointed in 2023 to the U.S. Selective Service System Local Board for California by Governor Gavin Newsom and the 46th President of the United States, Joseph R. Biden. Prince amplifies his influence on national defense. Installed as Vice President of the San Francisco Unified Lions Club at the club's 10th anniversary installation in August 2025, he drives community service initiatives, building on his transformative work with One Pet, One Voice, Wreaths Across America at San Francisco National Cemetery, and the American Legion Salesian Post 599. Honored with more than 28 certificates from figures such as Nancy Pelosi, Dianne Feinstein, and Attorney General Rob Bonta, Prince's passion for equality and empowerment is reshaping communities. Prince is also a member of our San Francisco Martyrs Day Organizing Committee. Please join me in welcoming Prince Kelley Jordan.
That was extremely powerful. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Ooh, I'm gonna say it again. Let me see if I can get a greeting back. Good morning, everyone. Before I say anything else, I want to thank Joy and Jeannie DeVideo and Emil with Dignity for having the vision and the resolve to make this day real. First, don't happen by accident. Somebody has to decide that a thing which does not exist should exist, and then refuse to let it go. That's when they get it. And that's why we are gathered here at the very first San Francisco Martyrs Day. Now, I want to start with a question. Why July 5th? Everyone knows July 4th, the fireworks, the parades, the promise, all men are created equal. But July 5th is quieter. July 5th is the morning after the celebration when the country wakes up and has to answer for the distance between what it promised and what it delivered. On July 5th, 1852, 174 years ago today, Frederick Douglass stood before an audience in Rochester, New York, and asked the question so sharp it still cuts. What to the enslaved American is your 4th of July? And asked them, or he didn't ask you to shame the country. He asked it because he believed the country could be better than it was, and that it would never get there by lying to itself. This is what July 5th is. It is the day America tells itself the truth. And here in San Francisco, California, this day carries a second inheritance. On July 5th, 1934, a day remembered as Bloody Thursday, 2 working men, Howard Sperry and Nick Bourgeois, were shot dead on the streets of this city during a waterfront strike. Sperry was a longshoreman. Bourgeois was a cook who came to support the strikers. They were not famous. They were not powerful. They simply believed that the people who worked deserved dignity and a safe work environment, and they paid for that belief with their lives. To this day, the ILWU stops work every July 5th to remember them. The city's ports go quiet. The silence is a sermon. So, this day chose us as much as we chose it. Today, we lift up 5 babes: Harvey Milk, George Mustoni, Howard Sperry, Nick Bourgeois, and Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. A small business owner, a mayor, a longshoreman, a cook, and a preacher. Look at that list. They didn't share a race, religion, a profession, or even a party line. The only line they shared was the one that they refused to stand behind. Each of them looked at the gap between America's promise and America's practice, and instead of turning away, they walked into it. They put their bodies in the breach, and the breach took them. Harvey Milk, a gay rights activist, knew. He recorded a message to be played in the event of his assassination because he understood the risk and stood up anyway. If a bullet should enter my brain, he said, let that bullet destroy every closet door. George Mustoni opened City Hall to people it had never welcomed and was murdered inside it. Dr. King told us the night before Memphis that he'd seen the promised land and that he might not get there with us. They awed him, and they stayed at their post. I want to be honest with you about why this day matters to me personally. I'm a Navy veteran. I grew up at Potrero Hill in this city, and I've had the honor of serving San Francisco's veterans and serving this state. And military people, we understand something in our bones. This country has always been built on sacrifice. We set aside days for those who fell in uniform, and we should. But there is another roll call of the fallen. The ones who died not on foreign battlefields, but on American streets, not fighting a foreign enemy, but fighting for America to keep its own word. Crispus Attucks, the first to fall in the revolution, a black man before there was even a United States. Medgar Evers in his driveway. 4 little girls in a Birmingham church. Viola Liuzzo, a mother of 5 who answered Selma's call on a highway in Alabama. Harvey and George at City Hall. Heather Heyer on a street in Charlottesville. Vicha Ratanapapti, 84 years old, on his morning walk in the Adza district, whose murder galvanized the Stop Asian Hate movement. Renee Good, a mother of 3, in her car on a Minneapolis street just this year. In our lifetime, and in this decade of memory, that roll call has never stopped. And here's the hard truth this day asks us to face. Most Americans cannot name those names. We have holidays for generals and presidents. We have no holiday for the ordinary people who died to make this Constitution true. Martyrs Day exists to fill that gap, because a country that forgets its martyrs will manufacture new ones. Man, that one was hard. I'm sorry. I wrote that line and I put that in there, and that one kind of hit me hard. We should try to not manufacture new martyrs, but it's the simple truth. Now, I know a day like this can go wrong. It can curdle into grief. It can become a museum. So let me say clearly what I believe this day is for. Martyrs Day is not a funeral. It's a transfer of custody and a call to action. Every generation, the unfinished work of justice gets handed to somebody. The people we honor today were in their own moment just people. A cook, a longshoreman, a preacher, a lawyer, a gay camera shop owner on Castro Street. They were not born martyrs. They were made into martyrs by what they were willing to carry. And when they failed, the weight didn't disappear. it passed on to us. So, the question of this inaugural Martyrs Day is not, do you remember him? The question is, what did you do with what they handed to you? For some of us, the answer is education. Making sure every child in this name can name Sperry and Bourgeois the way they can name the Gold Gate Bridge. For some of us, it's community, a meal served with dignity, a neighbor seen instead of stepped over. For some of us, it's civic action, proclamations, programs, showing up to the meetings nobody wants to attend because that's where the promise gets kept or broken. And for all of us together, there is one shared assignment. We are working towards official national recognition of July 5th as Martyrs Day. Not a San Francisco Day, not a niche observance, a national day because these martyrs belong to all Americans. And the truth-telling of July 5th is medicine the whole country needs. What began this morning in this room, in this city, is meant to travel. San Francisco went first. I've spent my career in public service, and if you've heard me speak before, you've heard me say this because I believe it more every year. Policy, at its best, is love made practical. That's when the martyrs understood. Harvey Mills' love was practical. It looked like an ordinance. Dr. King's love was practical. It looked like a Voting Rights Act. Sperry and Bourgeois' love was practical. It looked like a contract that let a working family eat. They didn't die for abstractions. They died for the practical machinery of dignity, a safe job, a vote, and a seat at the table. So when you leave here today, don't just carry a feeling. Carry a tax. Make your love practical. Teach one name, serve one meal, attend one meeting, and demand one proclamation. This is how remembrance becomes revolution. Not the loud kind, but the durable kind. The kind that outlives all of us. Frederick Douglass in the Dead Speech in 1852 after all is fire, on a note of hope. He said he did not despair of this country. 174 years later, standing in a city that is bearing more than its share of martyrs, neither do I. They kept the faith, and now it's in our hands. So, in closing, may this be the first of many annual San Francisco Martyrs Day observances to come. Thank you, San Francisco, and may we remember those who gave their lives for justice and freedom. And lastly, may we prove worthy of the names that we spoke today. Thank you. God bless you.
Oh, let's hear it for Prince Kelley Jordan. That was inspiring. That was the fire.